Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Campus Nightly. My name is Kendall Waters, and on tonight's show, we will be covering the tragic high school shooting that unfolded in Evergreen, Colorado, as well as the September 11th remembrance ceremonies taking place in New York City. We'll also bring you the latest updates in Washington, D.C., as the district takes legal action against the Trump administration. And finally, highlights from this year's MTV Video Music Awards. We'll also have a special guest, the former director of programming at SHU-TV. So stick around, you won't want to miss it. This is Campus Nightly. A tragic incident unfolded on September 10th at Evergreen High School in Colorado. A 16-year-old student opened fire on campus, wounding two classmates, then turning the gun on himself. Authorities say the student, now identified as Desmond Hawley, suffered a self-inflicted wound and has now died. Officials within the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office believe that Hawley was, quote, radicalized by some extremist network, end quote, and that he had a, quote, mission. The Sheriff's Department credited roadblocks like locked doors that helped limit further harm within the campus. One victim was released from the hospital that same night, while the other remains in critical condition. Governor Jared Polis said he was, quote, devastated by the shooting, further saying that his, quote, heart goes out to the victims and their families as they grapple with this senseless act of violence, end quote. The school shooting has left the Evergreen community shaken as investigators continue to search for answers. And we at SHU-TV extend our sincere condolences to all students, families, and educators affected by this tragedy. New York City marks the 24-year anniversary of September 11th attacks this week with the ceremonies across the city. At the World Trade Center Memorial, the city and nation gathered to honor and read out the names and remember the nearly 3,000 people that were killed in the attacks of September 11th, as well as the victims of the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. The ceremony also included 6 moments of silence, marking the times when each tower was struck, when each tower fell, when the Pentagon was attacked, and when Flight 93 crashed in Pennsylvania. New York City Governor Kathy Hochul says in a statement, quote, today I join the world in remembering the nearly 3,000 souls taken on 9/11, the people who went to work and never came home, and the brave heroes, uniformed and otherwise, who ran towards danger to save others, end quote. 24 years later, the ceremonies in New York serve as a reminder that the impact of September 11th is still felt, from the World Trade Center to communities like ours at Seton Hall. Coming up after this break, Washington, D.C. files a lawsuit against the Trump administration.
As one of America's leading Catholic universities, Seton Hall is creating graduates who are ready for anything.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready to work in the ICU.
To work in the big leagues.
To be a leader.
To teach special ed. To make my mark.
To volunteer in Micronesia.
To improve health around the world.
To get my master's.
I'm ready to make a difference.
To spread smiles.
To help others.
I'm ready for anything.
Seton Hall. Imagine what great minds can do.
Washington, D.C. is suing the Trump administration over the deployment of National Guard troops. The lawsuit in question was filed by D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwab, who claimed in an expose that, quote, armed soldiers should not be policing American citizens on American soil. The forced military occupation of the District of Columbia violates our local autonomy and basic freedoms. It must end, end quote. The lawsuit argues that Trump administration's actions violate both the Posse Comitatus Act, a federal law that sharply limits the use of military for domestic enforcement, and the Home Rule Act, which established local self-governance for the Capital District. The White House defends the move as necessary for public safety, and the case is now before the U.S. District Judge Gia Cobb, who will now decide whether to halt the deployment and issue an injunction while the case plays out. Now, off to Jackson Cash for sports. What's the update, Jackson?
Thank you, Kendall, and good evening, Pirates. Lots of big news is circulating in the sports world, so let's dive in. First, the Packers are hotter than a red-hot chili pepper as they are now 2-0 to start the season. Defeating the Commanders on Thursday by a final score of 18-27, it's safe to say the Packers are the best team in the NFL right now. Jordan Love continued his dominance, passing for 292 yards. If he keeps up this streak, he'll tap dance his way to a Super Bowl win. The teenage Phillies fan who got his home run ball snatched by a lady now called Phillies Karen has received much praise this week, as well as even being given the chance to meet the entire Phillies team. He was even offered $5,000, but has yet to accept the offer. One can only wonder what a 12-year-old would do with $5,000. If the young boy is smart enough, he should definitely hire a financial advisor immediately. The father of the boy has stated, "Please don't do anything to the lady." More updates to come. In the boxing world, Terrence Crawford overtook Canelo Alvarez on Saturday night with a pivotal clear decision win. The fight lasted 12 rounds and was a back-and-forth brawl between the two boxing superstars. Crawford becomes the first man in boxing history to become the undisputed champion in 3 different weight classes. After the tough loss, Canelo responded with, "The fact that I'm here already makes me a winner." That's all in the sports world. My name is Jackson Cash. Stay tuned after this break.
I would too. Let's do it.
Was it rolling?
Oh yeah, that was great.
In entertainment news, the MTV Video Music Awards took center stage on September 7th with show-stopping performances and wins that had fans conversing all night. Alex Warren took home Best New Artist, Sabrina Carpenter won Best Pop Artist and Best Album for Short and Sweet, and Cat's Eye earned Push Performance of the Year for their song Touch. Other major honorable mentions included Ariana Grande winning Video of the Year, Lady Gaga named Artist of the Year, and Rosé with Bruno Mars winning Song of the Year for Apathy. The event highlighted both established stars and emerging artists, making for a well-rounded night in music. Don't go away after this break, as we have an exclusive interview with SHU TV alum Jorge Rivera.
You know Seton Hall for basketball, but we're a whole lot more.
We have amazing classes and professors who really care if you succeed.
We are Catholic at our core, and we welcome students of all faiths.
We're close to New York City, which is great for finding internships and jobs.
The day we graduate from Seton Hall, we're ready to make our mark on the world.
Oh, and we're really good at basketball too.
Joining us now is a special guest for tonight's episode, the former director of programming at SHU TV, Jorge Rivera. How are you today?
I'm doing lovely. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Of course. So, we're really excited to hear more about your time at SHU TV, so let's start from the beginning.
Absolutely.
So, what originally drew you to SHU TV, and how did you step into the role of being the director of programming?
I entered a meeting. I asked somebody who was, I think, Colleen, and I entered this meeting, and I was like, I want to get to know more about this club. So I entered this meeting, and eventually I started to talk to these guys at SHU TV. And the title director of programming didn't exist at the time. It was just like everyone was kind of fitting into their roles. Someone was on social media, someone was more focused on the actual executive side of the club. Eventually, right, we learned that this space is available because Fahey was not at the time. We started coming in here. I'm like, we should start learning this stuff. We should start learning all of the equipment in the studio, in the control room, the lights, everything. And all these shows start getting written. It started with election night. We covered election for 8 hours. We did Inauguration Day a little while later in January for 3 hours. And then we did Campus Nightly, and we wrote that. And eventually that became the format of the show here at SHU TV. And with that, writing those programs, the title of Director of Programming came up. And that is essentially the story of Director of Programming, how that title came to be, which I was succeeded by Emily Flynn. She is incredible. Emily Flynn is running Campus Nightly now and all the programs here at the club. And with her incredible leadership, the future of the club is very bright. And she's, SHU TV is in very capable hands with Emily Flynn.
I agree with that. And looking back, what project or program are you most proud of helping bringing to air?
I would definitely say Campus Nightly. Campus Nightly is the heart and soul, the beating heart and soul of SHU TV. It is the place where students can come together. It's a community, and all sorts of ideas come to life here. The last episode of last semester, Emily Flynn, she was directing the episode, and she wanted to do this idea where they had cameras just outside this glass. and they wanted running shots, and it was going to be a very complicated thing to do, but we figured it out. And it's just moments like those, right, where that is a moment of pride to bring to air. All of the shows are a point of pride, but when they get better, that's the true win of Shoot TV.
That's amazing. If you could give current and incoming SHU TV members one piece of advice, what would it be?
So I'll try to stick to the question this time. One piece of advice I can probably give to anyone here is shake at least 3 hands today. Now, you want to know the names of these people. Someone who just graduated went to CBS. Someone who just graduated went to MLB, Yes Network. Like, there's people who are going out into the industry, and those people can either work with you, you can work for them. You never know who your boss could turn out to be. And you always want to approach that from a place where this is a community, and the advice is to make sure that you actually take that time to establish that sense of community and meet people here. That would be my advice.
Gotcha. And can you describe a moment when a show or project exceeded your expectations?
Mm-hmm.
What made it stand out?
I'm trying to think of one that hasn't, because for each show that comes around this room, it's a small room. This studio is probably slightly larger than my living room. It's a small room. And the programs that we've put on here, whether it is, Campus Nightly, Election Night, Inauguration, they all exceed expectations, because whatever we started with in the idea of the pre-production of the show, somehow we take 10 steps from that up. Initially Inauguration Day was going to be something that was just coverage of the event. We got to partner with the Senate Inaugural Committee. It's my first time emailing a .gov email in my inbox, and thankfully they said yes. That was something that was, okay, one step up. Hey, what if we were to do this project and we took it to another level, and we said, let's do a split screen. We'll have Graham, who just walked in here to tell me the answer to the question, and then on the right we'll have the Capitol building, and then it'll be like a split screen, and we've made graphics, and the teamwork always came through, and that's what exceeded the expectations. There would always be somebody who would say, I have an idea. I want to bring this idea to light. I want to bring this idea to the table. And if it weren't for the visionaries, and the visionaries that are now here, and the people who have ideas who are new to the club, I encourage you to be outspoken about those ideas. But I can say Inauguration, for example, to give you a specific answer, could be one of those programs that exceeded my expectations, but they all do. They all do at the end of the day.
The unexpected things, that's what makes the show a lot of the time.
Were you here for Election Night?
I was not.
Election Night was one of those things that it was all about making sure we got the coverage right, but really, it was the first time this studio was ever used for anything in a large capacity. And the biggest flop of flops happened, which was the entire systems crashed. The entire systems crashed. I mean, it was like every camera, every screen just came down. And yes, because of those mistakes, you were able to come out on top. And honestly, because of Election Night, Shoot TV was able to be in a better position in the eyes of the university as a result of the victory that Election Night was. The audio may not have been perfect. The camera shots may have been dark, but it was the attitude of the students that brought it forward.
The media landscape has shifted dramatically with streaming and digital platforms. How did you see those changes influencing student programming?
So digital media and changing student programming. I want to give a quick shout out to the social media team. The social media team at Shoot TV is, as far as the university community goes, is breaking boundaries. I hear staff talking about the programming that they put on Instagram. Last semester was Instagram and other platforms. I remember they would advertise in all sorts of ways. They have a TikTok, I just learned recently. But the Instagram is really the main player. And if you think about how that's transforming the way that Shoot TV's presence is seen on campus, think of Cooper. He was the star of that one video, and he's one of the many members of Shoot TV who make this community what it is. And in that video, it was all the members cycling through the door. And you just think of that, and it shows community, it shows togetherness, it shows broadcasting, it shows it all in these short form videos. I think that's going to transform the space.
Thank you so much, Jorge, for sharing your experiences and perspectives with us tonight. Your journey at SHU TV has left a lasting impact, and we appreciate you for taking the time to reflect on it with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure being here.
The pleasure's ours. Well, folks, that's it for tonight. Once again, my name is Kendall Waters, and thank you for tuning into Campus Nightly. Good night.